Hello, and welcome to this evening's reading. Today, I'd like to read to you the most famous poem in the Elder Edda. Well, maybe after Havamal. This is the Volva's prophecy, the seeress, the lady who was the magic witch of the Vikings. She was scary, but she was also a person that you couldn't get around, because if you wanted to go on a journey, if you wanted to maybe find a girlfriend or a husband, if you wanted to go for a fight with your enemy, if you wanted to visit your neighbor who had something against you, you would always go to Volva and ask, should I do this? Should I postpone it? Should I drop it? What advice can you give? She would bring forward her runes, and she would find some advice there. Maybe she would bring out some plants, look into them. Don't know if she used tea leaves. I know that she didn't use coffee because they didn't have any. Anyway, this is the prophecy of the seeress. A hearing I ask of all holy offspring, the hire and lover o' Heimdall's brood. Do you want me, corpse father, to tally up well ancient tales of folk from the first I recall? I recall those giants born early on, who long ago brought me up. 9 worlds I recall, 9 wood-dwelling witches, the famed tree of fate down under the earth. It was early in ages when Ymir made his home. There was neither sand nor sea, nor cooling waves, no earth to be found, no heaven above, a gulf beguiling, nor grass anywhere. Before Bur's sons brought up the lands, they who moulded famed Middle-earth, sun shone from the south on the stones of the hall. Then the ground grew with the leek's green growth. Sun, moon's escort, flung from the south her right arm round heaven's rim. Sun did not know where she had a hall. The stars knew not where they had stations. Moon did not know what might he had. Then all the powers went to their thrones of destiny, high holy gods, and deliberated this. To night and her children they gave their names. Morning they called one, another midday, afternoon and evening, to tally up the years. The Aesir assembled on action field. They who built high timbered temples and altars, they set down forges, fashioned treasures, shaped tongues and fabricated tools. They played board games in the meadow. They made merry. In no way for them was there want of gold, until there came 3 ogres' daughters, vastly mighty from giants' domain. Then all the powers went to their thrones of destiny, high holy gods, and deliberated this: who should shape the troop of dwarfs, from Brimir's blood, from Blaine's limbs. There was a Motsognir, made most esteemed of all the dwarfs, and Durin next. Many man-shaped forms they made, dwarfs from earth, as Durin told. New moon, moon wane, north and south, east and west, all stealer, dawdler, trembler, grumbler, tubby, old salt, friend and friendly, great grandpa, mead wolf, Svig and Vandelf, Windelf, urge, knowing and daring, spurt, wise and bright, corpse and new counsel. No, the dwarves, Regin and cunning counsel. Have I reckoned aright? Filer, Vedger, new-found needler, handle, slugger, craftsman, waster, swift, hornbearer, famed and puddle, mudplane, warrior, oaken shield. Well, you might find some names here that sounds familiar. So you know where Tolkien got his ideas to the names of his dwarves. Time is to reckon back in to Praeser, the dwarves in Dwaller's band for the children of men, those who sought from halls of stone the dwellings of mud plains of soily flats. There was Dripper and eager for strife, grey, mound treader, shelter plain, glowing, artisan, stainer, crooked Finn, great grandpa, elf and Yngvi, oaken shield, much wise and frosty Finn and beguiler, they will remain in memory while the worlds last. The lineage of Praeser, properly listed. This was the list of the dwarves. Until there came 3 from that company, powerful and pleasant, Asir to a house. They found on land lacking vigor. Ashenembla, free of fate. That's the humans, the man and the woman. Breath they had not, energy they held not, no warmth, no motion, nor healthy looks. Breath gave Odin. Energy gave Hanir. Warmth gave Lodur, and healthy looks. And Ash I know stands, Yggdrasil by name, a high tree, drenched with bright white mud. From there come the dews that drop in the dales, it always stands green over destiny's well. From there come maidens knowing much, 3 from the lake that stands under the tree. Destiny they called one, Becoming the second, they carved on wood tablets, shall be the third. Laws they lay down, lives they choose, for the children of mankind, the fates of men. See, these are the Norns who weave our lives. She remembers the war, the first in the world, when they stabbed at God drought with many spears, and in the hall of the High One they burned her body. 3 times they burned the one thrice born, often over again. Yes, she lives still. They called her Brightness. When she came to their homes, a witch who could foretell, she knew the skill of ones that made magic where she could, made magic in a trance. She was always a delight to a wicked woman. See, this is the Volva. Then all the powers went to their thrones of destiny, high holy gods, and deliberated this, whether the Asir were obliged to render tribute, and all the gods were obliged to pay the price. Odin flung his spear, cast it into the host. Still, that was the war, the first in the world. The shield wall was shattered of the fortress of the Asir. The Vanir with war spells trampled the battlefield. That was the enemies of the Asir. Then all the powers went to their thrones of destiny, high holy gods, and deliberated this, who had mixed the whole sky with mischief, or given odd girl to giant's kin. Thor alone blew blows there, bursting with rage. He seldom sits still when he hears such things said. Oaths were trampled, words and assurances, every binding pledge that had passed between. She knows that Heimdall's herring is hidden under that brilliant holy tree. She sees a river surge with a muddy stream from corpse father's pledge. Do you know yet, or what? Alone she sat out, when the aged one came, the dread one of the Asir, and she looked in his eye. What do you ask me? Why do you try me? I know it all, Odin, where you hid your eye. In the much famed fountain of Mimir. Mimir sips mead every morning from corpse father's pledge. Do you know yet, or what? Warfather picked for her rings and circlets. She had backwise tidings and ones of prophecy. She saw widely and widely beyond, over every world. She saw Valkyries come from widely beyond, ready to ride to the people of the gods. Shall be bore one shield, brandisher another, battle, war, wand maid and spear bandishes. Now I reckoned warlords, ladies, ready to ride over earth, the Valkyries. I saw for Balder, the blood-stained god, Odin's son, his fate fully settled. There stood blooming above the ground, meager, mighty, beautiful mistletoe. The mistletoe is what killed Balder. From that plant that seemed so slender, Hod learned to shoot the dangerous dart of harm. Balder's brother was quickly born. Quickly born, that son of Odin learned to kill one night old. He never washed hands nor combed his head, till he put to the pyre Balder's foe. But Frigg lamented in fen halls, for slain halls woe. Do you know yet, or what? Then Vali's war bands were woven, rather hard were the bonds, out of his own guts. She saw a prisoner, prostrate on the kettle grow, in the likeness of Loki, ever eager for harm. There sits Sigyn over her husband, but she feels little glee. Do you know yet, or what? There stood the north on moon-wane plains, a hall of gold, a cinder's line. A second stood or never cooled, the beer hall of a giant, one called Brimir. A hall she saw standing far from the sun, on dead body strands, its doors face north. Venom drops flowed in through the roof holes. That hall is plated from serpents' spines. She saw there wading through heavy currents, men false sworn and murderous men, and those who gull another's faithfulest girl. Their spit strikers sucks the bodies of the dead. A wolf tore men. Do you know yet, or what? East sat an old crone in ironwood, and suckled there the seed of Fenrir. From them all shall emerge a certain one, a grabber of the moon in monstrous guise. He is filled with the lifeblood of doomed men, reddens the power's dwellings with ruddy gore. The sunbeams turn black the following summer. All weather woeful. Do you know yet, or what? There sat on a grave mound and plucked at a harp the giantess herdsman, happy Egther. Over him were crowed in gallows wood a bright red cock whose name was Much Wise. Of the Asir there crowd golden comb, who wakes the warriors at host father's home. Another crow beneath the earth, a soot red cock in the halls of hell. Garm howls loud before glooming gave. The bond will break and the ravenous one run. Much lore she knows, I see further ahead of the power's fate, implacable of the victory gods. Brothers will struggle and slaughter each other, and sisters' sons spoil kinship bonds. It's hard on earth, great Wardom. Axe age, blade age, shield are split, wind age, wolf age. Before the world crumbles, no one shall spare another. Mime's son's sport, the wood of destiny is kindled at the ancient sounding horn. Heimdall blows loud, the horn is aloft. Odin speaks with Mim's head. The standing ash of Yggdrasil shudders, the aged tree groans, and the giant breaks free. All are afraid on the paths of hell, before Surt's kind swallows it up. What with the Asir? What with the elves? All giants' domain groans, the Asir hold council. The dwarves murmur before their stone doors. Lords of the cliff wall, do you know yet? Or what? Garum now howls loud before looming cave. The bond will break and the ravenous one run. Much lore she knows, I see further ahead, of the power's fate implacable of the victory gods. Rim drives from the east, holds his shield ahead. Great wand writhes in giant wrath. The serpent strikes waves, the eagle screams. Pale breaked ribs, bodies, nail boat breaks free. A vessel journeys from the east. Muspel troops will come over the waters while Loki steers. All the monstrous offspring accompany the ravenous one. The brother of Vileist is with them on the trip. Surt comes with the south without what damage his branches. There shines from his sword the son of corpse gods. Rock cliffs clash, troll wives crash, warriors tread hell roads, and heaven is rent. Then there comes for Lin a second sorrow, when Odin goes to fight the wolf, and Beli's bright bane against Surt. Then, when Frigg's beloved must fall. Then there comes the great son of victory, father, Vidar, who fight against the slaughtering beast. With his hand he sends his sword to the heart of Vedrung's son when his father is avenged. The earth girdle gapes over heaven. The dread serpent's jaws yawn on high. Odin's son must meet the serpent when the wolf is dead and Vidar's kin. Then there comes the famous offspring of Lodin. Odin's son goes to fight the serpent. The defender of Middle-earth strikes in his breath. All warriors must abandon their homesteads. The ghost 9 places, the son of Fjogin, spent from the snake that fears no spite. The sun turns black, land sinks into sea, the bright stars scatter from the sky. Flame flickers up against the world tree, fire flies with against heaven itself. Garm now howls loud before looming cave. The bond will break and the ravenous one run. Much lore she knows, I see further ahead, of the power's fate, implacable of the victory gods. She sees rising up a second time, the earth from the ocean, evergreen. The cataracts tremble, an eagle flies above, hunting fish along the fell. The Asir come together on action field and pass judgment on the powerful earth coil, and commemorate there the mighty events and the ancient runes of potent God. Afterwards, there will be found wondrous golden gaming pieces in the grass, those which in ancient days they had owned. All unsown the fields will grow, all harm will be healed, Balder will come, Hod and Balder will inhabit Hrup's victory halls. Sanctuaries of the slain gods, do you know yet, or what? Then Honir shall choose the wooden lots, and the sons of 2 brothers build dwellings in the wide wind home, do you know yet, or what? She sees a hall standing, more beautiful than the sun, better than gold at Gimle. Virtuous folk shall live there and enjoy pleasure the living long day. When there comes a mighty one down from above, the strong one who governs everything to powerfulness, then there comes there the dark dragon flying, the glittering snake up from moon-wane hills. It bears in its wings and flies over the plain, dead bodies, spite striker, now she must sink. And that was the poem of Våluspå. Well, maybe we should ask our friend, our monk, who knows everything about the gods, if he can help us a little bit understanding this poem. What do you say?